Hello, hello, and welcome to the Yvonne Nobles Going Places podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs around the globe and the amazing things they're accomplishing in their community. Today, we are so honored to be joined by Jacqueline Capatolla. She is an award-winning entrepreneur with over 35 years in the beauty industry, creator of the Wheel of Confidence methodology. She's also an author, wife, mom, and Nana to five lovely grandchildren. Joining us all the way from Pennsylvania. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you today? It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Yvonne.
Oh, it's our privilege. We are so happy you came through. And we are so excited to hear the gems that you've got to share with us with so much expertise. We always break the ice with a little bit of an icebreaker. Can you tell us something interesting about yourself that most people do not know, a hidden gem?
Oh, a hidden gem. Let's see. I'm 55 and I have, just been along this path of this beauty industry. I started as a 16 years old. I started in this industry.
Awesome.
Way back then, I knew that I wanted to do this. I used to play with Barbie dolls and fix their hair and do all that fun stuff, right? And I knew that someday I was going to want to do this journey of beauty and confidence for people, with women, men, and that's just something fun that it started way back when I was just a young girl.
Oh, awesome. And that's where the gold is. It's like many times if we
Yes.
feel lost, we just got to look over our shoulder and think, what made me happy? What lit me up when I was little?
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yep,
no,
exactly.
what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that entrepreneurial spirit was in me way back then, so I knew that from a young age, which is, I think a lot of people do. They just don't grab onto that. So you need to
Mm.
grab onto that.
So tell us more about that. When did the entrepreneurial bug first get hold of you? And when did you like just have the courage to go for it?
Yeah. So I remember, planning carnivals in my backyard as a young girl, like just having the whole neighborhood come together. We plan a carnival, we do all kinds of little games and things for everybody in the neighborhood at such a young age. And I knew that that was something special. Like there was something really intriguing about that. So I just kind of kept going with that and going with that. And then as I went on in beauty school, I went right out of high school into beauty school and knew at a young age then that I wanted to really have my own salon. I used to take notes and write it all down and keep
Wow.
track. And I used to just draw a little picture of what I wanted it to be like at such a young age. So I think that's important. If you know that something in your heart is driving you at a young age, you should really like dive deep into that and follow that, because a lot of times that's when it really starts within us, is at a young age.
Couldn't agree more. That's awesome advice. So, given that you were determined to succeed and actually pursue your dream, it's likely that you encountered some roadblocks and speed bumps along the way. Can you share what that was like and how you overcame them?
Yes, there are many roadblocks. So I have been in the beauty industry and had my salon for 27 years. I still have my business, but I've taken it online. And people ask me, well, how did you take your salon online? Which I'm sure we'll get more into that.
Right.
But the roadblocks of just going through different things that are happening in your life, in your own personal life, and what's happening in the world, as far as like, the inflation and all the tragedies that are happened, the pandemic, everything that comes up, we do have a lot of that. It happens in business as we're going through the recession, 9/11. I've been through all of that
Mm.
within my business. And one thing I learned is you have to push through those moments. You have to keep going. You can't let that stop you. As entrepreneurs, we have to learn how to shift when things happen, and how to, switch, like flip the switch of it, like not let it defeat us, not let it break us down, not let us, you know, just want to stay lying in bed and forget about everything. We have to learn as entrepreneurs to deal with the things that come up and take advantage of all the opportunities in front of you, the resources that you have, so that you can get through those challenging times in business, because there are so many ups and downs. It is definitely a roller coaster of ride,
Yeah.
a ride that takes you along this journey. And you have to be ready for it and prepared for it.
No, that's very, very insightful. You're dropping gems. And, as you were speaking, it made me think of the whole glass half full perspective. Your
Yes,
circumstances are going to be crazy, as you said,
yes,
a roller coaster, but it's how you look at them. Do you see
right.
it as an opportunity or do you see it as something that's forcing you to stop? Do you use it as
Absolutely.
motivation? Or do
Yeah.
you, like you said, just lie in bed and wait for it to pass over? And the ones that
Yes,
stay standing are the ones that jump in there and look for a way to turn it into something amazing. Really, really
exactly.
nice.
Yeah, I've always been a half full kind of girl. I love that the way you brought that up because I don't look at things half empty. I look at it half full. You have to because if you don't, you're just gonna, you're not gonna have that determination, that willpower, that drive, like you said, to move you forward. So it's so important.
Mm. So before you speak more about the transitioning your job, your salon online,
Uh huh.
very curious, what do you find during these difficult times women are using as a means of still feeling and staying beautiful? What are some resources or options that you have now that maybe weren't there 10, 20 years ago?
Yeah. Well, what are we doing now, right? We are all online. Things have shifted to being online, and you have to be visible. In order for women entrepreneurs, men too, all of us, any entrepreneur, you have to be visible these days. And what really is going to be something that helps you do that is your confidence and your inner well being, your inner strength. And the only way you can do that is by diving into your mindset and everything that you're about to figure out what your true authentic self is. And if you don't do that, you stay stuck. You
Mm.
need to do that first. It's so important. Our vision, our mission, our values, our core beliefs are so important. And I think being visible today and really stepping into who you are and your superpower of what lights you up, your skills, what motivates you, is going to actually happen to be like that silver lining for you. It's going to be that silver lining for you, what you feel you're missing. So women today, I feel women in particular today, I feel that they're a little bit afraid to do these kind of things.
Mm.
That holds them back. And we have to be present and step into this. We have to learn how to step into this and motivate them. So just showing up more confident and taking the time for you, even if it's 5 minutes, taking the time to fix your hair, fix your makeup, put something on that makes you feel good will get you to that new level and that new heights of where you need to be.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the connection you're making between beauty on the inside translates into beauty on the outside. And so it's
Yes.
all about how you're feeling. I think you mentioned confidence and,
Yes.
just you're in control. If you put on
Yeah.
something that makes you feel amazing, that energy is going to come across, right?
Exactly. Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
go ahead.
it does. The energy comes across because who are you being? You're
Yeah.
being you. You're not comparing yourself to someone else. You're not feeling like I have to be that person or I have to look like that. I have to do that. You're being you, you're being real, you're being authentic. And that is the motivation. That is the will. That is the strength within us that we need. We need to stop comparing and we need to really find within ourselves that overwhelming strength of like, I am worth it. I can do this. I am worthy. I deserve this.
Yeah.
I speak a lot on the respect and respect for ourselves. That's so, so, so important.
Right. Couldn't agree more. So curious, how do you recommend that one balances the whole element of authenticity against
Mhm.
keeping up with the latest beauty trends? Where does one
So,
find themselves, being
yeah.
okay?
Yeah. I think the balance comes from your purpose. What is your purpose and what are we here to do, right? We are all here for a reason. We're all here on this earth for a reason. God has put us here. And we are so, it is amazing to me. The more and more women that I meet and the more people that I speak to and men, we're really a lot alike.
Yeah.
We try to feel that, the world tries to divide us, but we're not. We're very much alike. So I think finding that balance of your purpose, your dream of where you're going and how you can make a difference in the world really, really will set you up and give you that balance so that you can keep up with things and feel that you have the strength to help others and look and feel good with what your skill and what you're meant to do, by finding the balance within yourself and finding that strength within you, that will just take you to new levels, because you have to remember that you have a purpose and you have a dream to be here, and you're meant to be here. We're so united, and that common denominator, we
Yeah.
all want to look and feel our absolute best.
Jackie, that's absolutely beautiful. And if I'm hearing you loud and clear, your why is more important than your how. As long as you connect to
Yes.
your why, that beauty is going to shine through. So, wow,
Yes.
phenomenal, phenomenal. So, go ahead and tell us a little bit more of how you're capitalizing on the fact that more people are online. Exactly how did you get your salon online?
Yeah. Okay. So, we all went through this craziness with the pandemic COVID for the last 3 years, right? I created a program within my salon way back called Jacqueline's Inside Out. That's my tagline. That's been my tagline forever. Feel beautiful inside and out. So I took that. I was mentoring to the students, beauty school students, to my clients, going out speaking about confidence. I've been doing this forever. But
Awesome.
COVID really kind of like took it to a new level, because what happened, I am in a business, right, where I'm touching people, we're in the salon, we're physically touching you. We could no longer do that. We had to stop, shut down our salon. I had to find ways that I was still able to serve my clients. My clients needed me. Who did we need when all that happened, right? We were looking for our hairdressers.
Yep.
We were looking for people in the beauty industry to help us, our hair, we just felt real frumpy. Things were, we weren't getting our hair done. We weren't feeling good. We weren't having that connection. So I started helping my clients online and doing things over that period of time when I couldn't be physically in the salon. And I realized that, people need us more than we really even ever known
Mm.
that we were needed. And, I could reach more people. Look how I'm talking to you all the way from Miami, right? Like,
Yep.
I can reach more people. The other day I was speaking, to a woman in South Africa. So, like, it's just amazing to me that we can have this connection all over the world by doing this. And I feel that I can help and lead more people this way. So, taking it online, people say, well, how did you take your salon online? How do you do that? The reason for me was I can reach more people. I can help you. I can have a more intimate connection with you here in this space, and really define who you are, your authentic self, by going to beauty, fashion, wellness, inspiration. We dive into all of that. I teach you your styles, your looks, the shape of what your face is, and how to use that to your advantage, enhance what you have, neutralize what you need to, finding your personality so that you can show up authentically, powerfully in your space. So bringing it online has really been a blessing to me, and that is one of the silver linings of that came out of COVID for me.
Wow. Such a fresh perspective and a way to stay positive in the storm. That's
Yes.
awesome. So, why don't you give us a little bit of the origin story? You mentioned you were 16 and you knew that
Mhm.
beauty was your thing.
Yeah.
What was going on? What were the circumstances? What drove you to want to, make sure beauty was something that you educated others in versus just keeping the secrets to yourself?
Yeah. So starting off in such a young age in the beauty industry, it was really inspiring to me. I started working in a downtown salon in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a woman who was a barber. So I started with a barber, which is amazing. I actually
Wow.
worked for two barbers, and I assisted her, and I loved it. I was 16. I was shampooing. I was sweeping up the floor, and it just inspired me how much, seeing men even in that situation, that she had a lot of male clients coming in, and seeing like it really makes a difference even for the men to look, feel, and feel good too.
Absolutely.
So being there, I just knew that, I wanted to do it. I pursued it. I went on, I ended up having my own chair, started building my clientele and all of that. And then I went and I educated. I've been an educator in this industry too. I went to salons and I taught different salons, different ways of doing color and product knowledge and all of that. And I love the teaching aspect because I saw in the students, I would go into beauty schools and teach confidence to the beauty school students. I love that aspect of teaching and just sharing what I love to do and just inspire them. It's just so important to know that we are important in people's lives. What we do is very, very important. So having the salon, doing all that, having two salons for 3 years, and then I closed one and I went back downtown and had my other salon. So I came full circle. I
Wow.
started at 16. That's where I was working as a shampoo girl. And then I opened up my salon, my second salon in town, where I came back and, just dove into everything there, Pittsburgh Fashion Week and educating other salon owners. And I've always been one too, that I don't feel that we should be competing with one another in our industry,
True.
in your own industry, whatever that is. I think we can lift each other up. So I have always shared and went and helped other salon owners, invited them into different things that I was doing, giving back and things like that. And I believe that when we come together as a unit, we can grow even bigger and broader because we're collaborating together and we're bringing all of our expertise together, right? Masterminding together. And
Right.
it's so important to be able to do that, to share this with people and not feel that competition or that, anything like that. You don't need to do that. So
Such a
it's better
vital
to have
message.
people. Yeah. It's better to have people with you and grow and learn from each other and help each other. That's what life's about, right?
Yeah, we get further together than apart. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I love how you're describing that collective strength in numbers. If ever anyone has been in a transition and they're trying to do something alone, you only get so far. But when
You
you
can't do
find
it.
your tribe and you're
Yeah.
all on the same page, I mean, look at the ant. They work together collectively and they do
Right.
huge things. So we're the
Right.
same. We need each other.
Yeah,
I love that.
we do. We need each other. This world needs more of that. We do. And if COVID has taught us anything, it has definitely taught us that we need people. We
Yes.
need connection. We can't do it alone. When we were stuck in our homes all alone, what did that bring? That brought depression, that brought people down, that made people feel unworthy or, that they're just not good enough. And it's not good. That should have taught us right there that we need connection, we need people in our lives, and we need, just to be on the same page with each other and realize that we are all here for each other and, and connected in one way or another in life.
And kudos on spearheading that, because the further along we go, there's going to be healing, there's going to be recovery, and
Yeah.
mental and emotional elements are things you can't see. But
Right.
as you pointed out earlier, beauty starts inside. So
Yeah.
coming together, helping everyone get to their next level is going to be so instrumental.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So curious, what would you say are your top three sources of inspiration? What lifts you when you're feeling down?
Okay, so my top inspiration would be I pray and I follow Jesus and I have the Jesus Calling book. I take time every morning and I read the daily quote, the daily verse for the day, and that really helps to move me forward. So that is definitely top of line for me. Worshiping and just having that in my life makes such a difference. My family would definitely be a second one. Having the support of family and the strength and the love of family and that family unit that we all need, whether you have one family member or 40, whatever it is, I'm an Italian girl. I have a big family. So I love that and having that connection. But if I just had one family member, then you make that work with whatever you have. You need that family unit. So having the love and support of my family is just so important to me. And
Yes.
the third thing would be connection and just having this connection with people and being able to give back. I love to give back and share my skill and help help people with my purpose of why I'm here, like I said earlier, and just being able to give back in a positive way. I want to lift people up. It's my mission to lift people up, give you just give you that inspiration. So it inspires me to inspire others, if that makes
Beautiful.
sense.
Absolutely. Wow. It's a domino effect. That is
Yeah.
fantastic. So
Mhm.
curious, in the bigger scheme of things, would you say with what you've experienced, do you choose your calling or does your calling choose you and why?
Oh, that's a really good question. Hmm. My goodness,
No wrong answer.
I've never had that question. Do I choose my calling or does my calling choose me?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So if I really think deep about that, I would say my calling is choosing me, because if God has put me here for a purpose to do this, then that's my calling, right? That's what I'm meant to do. That's what I'm spirited to do. I'm really thinking this through. I think this is an awesome question. So I really think that, yeah, that it is calling me, but I do love to give it. So maybe both, but I think it would mainly be that it's calling me to do this because that's what I'm meant to do here. And that's what my purpose is, maybe. Does that make sense? I think,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you identify with what your purpose is and you get that feeling of being at home, it could
Yeah.
be because you listened to the calling. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I do. I look for signs, like, when I was shifting my business and I was taking my business online, it was really hard for me to
Mhm.
do that. I had a very rough couple months. Like, I really wanted to do it, but I was struggling. Like,
Mm.
is this what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to close my brick and mortar that I've had for 27 years, that I love and adored and had that space, going to it every day? And, people knew me in the building, and I loved all the people that was around me there, and my clients coming in. Like, that was such a big part of my life. I started that at 27 years old, so it was such a big part of my life. So I had a hard time
Right.
letting it go, but I knew I had this calling. Like, something was like every day, coming at me. So maybe it is what you're saying. It was that purpose of, like, that bigger calling that was telling me it's time. It's time to shift it online. Don't give it up. I'm not giving up what I do. This
Mhm.
is what I love. This is what I do. But I'm actually just taking it on a new journey, and I love it. Now I'm at a place where it's like, yeah, this was meant to be. This is where God has led me. This is what has come out of, like, the darkness of, like, crying and being, upset that I'm closing that chapter in my life of having that brick and mortar.
Mm.
But I have so much more now, like, that I can do, and I love it. And it's just, I think when anybody is going through that shift in their life and they're going through that, like, time of, where is this taking me and what am I supposed to do? Am I doing the right thing? Stay on the path, because it truly is bringing you to something that's beautiful and more glorious than you even could imagine.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's a very, very timely reminder that we are always changing. There's going to be
Yes.
different versions and iterations of us, and the
Yeah.
key is not to beat ourselves up for where we happen to be right now,
Yeah.
but to hold space and have vision for what's coming.
Right.
So I love too how you explained, because it's not something that's shared frequently, that as business owners, we go through these levels and these
Yeah.
emotions. Social media kind of has it twisted where everyone only sees the smiles and the fun and the
Yeah.
good. But what
Exactly.
about the tears and the sacrifices, the blood and the sweat, everything that goes into getting to the happy place?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
not beating ourselves up is key. I love that.
Yeah, you can't beat yourself up. Like, thinking to myself, like, was that a failure that I closed my brick and mortar? Was that a failure? You start questioning
Mm,
yourself, like, does that mean I failed? Like, and then I start thinking, no, why would that mean I failed? I had that for 27 years. Like, through all of the different things that have happened and the challenges with, the pandemic, 9/11, the recession, all of that,
Yeah.
and starting it with hardly nothing, starting from nowhere, and no one knew me, and built it up from nothing. And I think that was an accomplishment. So don't go down that path of like, that's not a failure. That's an accomplishment. I'm not moving forward or moving backwards. I'm moving forward. I'm taking it with me into my new journey, my new level of where I am in entrepreneurship, and still have my business, still have Jacqueline's House of Beauty. It's just in a new direction. So if we just go down the path, but we're staying on the path, but sometimes, maybe the path comes to where we have to either go right or left. Where are we going? What are we doing? And
It's awesome.
choose the right path.
And what helps too, when we remove some of that pressure and understand whatever you choose is the right path. You're going
Right.
to make the best of it. And so I think sometimes we get frozen in a place of hoping, I don't want to go wrong. I don't want to make a mistake, but it's like
Right.
whatever is meant for you will unfold. And when you were
Yeah.
talking about failure, it made me think of a quote. I had to look it up. It's from Oprah. She said, think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have to fail sometimes, or we have to go through things sometimes to get us where we are today. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like if I didn't go through things in my life, in my career, personal and business, I wouldn't be where I was today. It's not all roses and sunshine all the time, and nothing is. I mean, we do have challenges that are going to come up every day. You're going to have a challenge in your business that you have to deal with. If you're not dealing with challenges in your business, then your business isn't moving forward. Because you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it comes up. I mean, you're going to have to keep evolving and learning and growing and moving and shifting and all of that. The highs and the lows. It's a little mixture of all of it. Hopefully you have more high days than low
Mm,
days,
yeah.
but you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing through, and you can't give up on the dream that you really, really have and want in life. And I had it at such a young age. I was not going to lose it. There was no way I was going to lose it. I'm like, I have to figure this out. What am I going to do? And I figured it out.
Well, your perseverance clearly paid off. Very curious. What are you working on? What's new and in the works that we should be on the watch for?
Yeah. So my wheel of confidence methodology is what has come out of all this, right? So I created a wheel of confidence methodology where we dive into beauty, fashion, wellness, and inspiration. And inside of those pillars, we start with like your mindset. We start with your true authentic self. I teach you ways. I've taken a lot of certification in self-development as well as business, and having this business experience for all these years, and then having my expertise in the beauty industry, I've
Nice.
combined them and I've aligned them. So I've aligned the inner strength with the outer physical appearance to be able to help you show up more confident with what you do. And inside of our pillars, we do just that. We build you up. We find your true strength of what it is. I help position you in your business and brand you so that the both are aligning. Because if one is less than the other, it's not going to work. It's not going to show up. So you have to have them both. And the way that I found that was I realized I have been doing that all these years.
Mm,
That is what I've been doing all these years. Women would sit in the chair, men too, look in the mirror when they were done, and they'd feel absolutely incredible, right? They'd feel good. They look good. They have their hair done, their makeup done, whatever. They feel really good. Then they go home, and what happens
mm.
after a couple days? After a couple days, you start to feel like life just sets in and things come up, and you still got to keep your mind in that place of when you looked in that mirror.
Yes.
Still keep your mind there that you still are beautiful, you still are worth it, you still have everything that you need. And then just finding that way to position it for you. So if, say, we do our photo shoots and I teach and I bring you in and we do like a VIP day and you get a whole package, like a whole package, hair, makeup, fashions, all of that. And we also dive into the mindset so that we can position you to show up more confident. That's what I'm working on, my Wheel of
Awesome.
Confidence methodology. And I love it, doing VIP days and helping my clients to have more of that, inner strength.
Oh, that's just fabulous. Well, we're wishing you continued limitless success in all these undertakings. They sound amazing. You're
Thank
clearly
you.
stirring a lot of hearts and changing lives. And,
Thank you.
our final question is a little bit more hypothetical.
Okay.
So, if you could go back 20 years and you had
Hmm.
just 2 minutes to talk to your younger self, what are you saying?
Yeah. So, what I would tell my younger self is to just stop worrying about things that you don't have control over. Um, and don't feel guilt for things that maybe were not in your control, and that you have to learn ways to let that go and maybe just like express new ways of going along the journey without feeling that worry, that guilt, that responsibility of maybe I did this wrong, maybe I did that wrong, should I have done this differently, why did that happen, or what happened. When you start playing all that in your head, you really get more in that place of that negativity. So if I had to go back to myself that many years ago, I would just tell myself to let myself breathe.
Mm.
Let myself breathe. It's okay. Things come up, things happen, things do happen in your lives, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to put that on you or worry about whatever it is that came up in your life. That you can move forward and just know that, there's more for you. There's more for you to do.
So insightful. So insightful. And it's wonderful how as you were talking through that, you're really getting to the crux of empowerment. Many people think it's taking on more, but it's actually letting go. Because when
Right.
you have that peace and you know who you are and you know
Yes.
it's going to be okay, it changes how you show up.
Right.
So,
I believe that too. And I think like we are so formed from our younger years,
yes,
things from our younger days in life really formed us who we are. And that can be good and bad, right? It can be a mixture of both. Like we can have bad times in our younger years, but we can also have beautiful times in our younger years. And whatever we lead into our adult life
right.
and move forward with really matters. So we have to think back to those days and realize like, yeah, there's good and bad, there's good and bad with all of it.
Yeah. But the key is to make sure that we're taking control of the reins and we
Yeah.
understand that no matter whether it was good or bad, we are in the driver's seat. We have the
I love that.
opportunity to really dictate what are we going to do with it? Who are we going to
I love
help?
that.
Who are we going to
Yeah.
become? And
Yep.
the real intent of that question, it's a parting gift. So that 20 years from now, you're saying the same thing to yourself.
Oh,
Realize
that's
that
beautiful.
it's okay. Whatever comes your way, you're going to do the best that you can, and it's going
Yeah.
to turn out wonderfully for you.
Exactly. I love that. It's a journey, right? We're on a journey and we make mistakes and we
Yep.
make good decisions and bad decisions, but we are on a journey. And I love what you just said there. That's incredible, to just go back 20 years and then go back again 20 years and just keep looking at life as you're growing and moving through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Those
And we
moments
all
of
have
reflection
that.
are key. Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
We
Every
all
single
have it.
one.
And that's what's so important for people to get. It's not I would love for your audience right now to get that it's not just something that we go through individually. Everybody goes through this, everyone. We're not alone. So don't feel like you're alone on that journey of self-development. We all have things that we have to go through to get where we
Absolutely.
are.
Absolutely. And the ones that you see that seem to be floating at the top, they take more time to sit in that and to
Yeah,
do the reflection and to process what are those
exactly.
emotions? What are your dreams? And as you said earlier, Jackie, never ever give up on those. Age is just a number. Just use what
Yes.
you've got now. There's so much at your disposal, and you're more powerful than you think. But do you have any parting words for the audience today? Any words of advice, encouragement that you want to share?
Yeah. I would just say to learn to be you. Stop comparing yourself to others. There's no need to do that. You are uniquely made. You are here for a purpose, a mission. Your vision and for your life is what you make it. So make it be incredible. Make it be something that is going to move you forward. Um, and that is going to trickle off into your family and your relationships and your health and your wealth. It's going to trickle down to all of that if you start with you within you, bring yourself to a place where you love yourself and respect yourself enough, and that's just going to shine through in all aspects of your life.
So fabulous. Thank you. Thank you for being an amazing guest and dropping all these gems. All our dear
Welcome.
listeners, we want to remind you that building your legacy starts now. So make
Yeah.
sure that you're embracing the ones that are near and dear to you, using every day like the gift that it is. We thank you for your time and tuning in. Jackie, thanks for coming through, and we look forward to seeing you all next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If they wanted to reach out to Jacqueline's House of Beauty.com, I would love to have them there. I can set up a complimentary call, an assessment call for you. And I also have a free downloadable confidence guide. So I would love to share that with your audience. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. And for those of you that need to get to that quickly, just open up the write up. We're going to have the links so you can just click right through, set up your appointment, and get in touch with Jackie directly. Meanwhile,
Perfect.
have a phenomenal day, and thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to share this video and like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at New You Wow. Until next time, stand tall in your power and remember, your belief in yourself is your superpower.